Hey guys, how are you? What's up? Another literature break for you this afternoon on a snowy Friday in February. And it's almost been a year that I've been doing these little snippets, so it's sort of fun. Glad to be celebrating that. This book is 1215, the year of Magna Carta. Really interesting book that helps give some context for this amazing document from which a lot of the legacy of our freedoms originates. Okay, cool. And then so if you didn't see the cover, this is the book. Check it out. And I just want to read two little bits. So this has sections like school, family strife, the countryside. So I'm going to read two bits. The first is from Hunting in the Forest. A forest administration was established under a chief forester and his deputies. There were the foresters and verderers, officers responsible for policing the forest and attending forest courts. There were the regarders, who made inspections of the forest. All were supervised by the justices of the forest, who were sent round the country on forest areas to try offenders against forest law. So I just think that's funny to think about. And of course we have correlative roles in our own culture, but it's it's so funny to think of different cultures, and I hate that that's true. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Moving on. So this is now the Archbishop of Canterbury has died. Hubert has died. So after Hubert's death, who was to be the next Archbishop of Canterbury? Both the monks of Canterbury and the bishops of the province of Canterbury claimed the right to participate in the election and appealed to Rome. John, as the king, persuaded both parties to agree to a postponement of the election, but a group of monks went ahead and secretly elected their sub-prior Reginald, who at once set off for Rome. Then in the king's presence, the monks remaining at Canterbury thought better of it, and in December 1205 elected John's candidate, John de Grey, Bishop of Norwich. Innocent III I think that's the Pope, rejected the bishop's claim to have a voice in the election of the archbishop, but ruled both elections invalid and invited the monks at Rome to hold another election. With the monks still split between Reginald and Grey, Innocent proposed a new candidate, Cardinal Stephen Langton. The Canterbury monks at Rome acquiesced. John, however, refused his assent. As he saw it, the traditional royal right of patronage had been infringed, and Stephen's long career as a teacher of theology at the embryonic University of Paris meant that he was guilty of association with his greatest enemy, the King of France. Both sides dug their heels in. Innocent consecrated Stephen as archbishop. John refused to allow him into England and seized the estates of Canterbury. Innocent responded by imposing an interdict on England in 1208. It lasted until 1214. For those 6 years, no church bells rang out over England. This eerie silence carried a message. The clergy were on strike. The papal interdict meant that the regular church services on Sundays and feast days were banned, and that no one could be buried in consecrated ground. Horror stories were told of corpses being put into coffins and hung from trees in the churchyard until they could be buried later on. New burial grounds had to be opened up in the expectation that they would be consecrated when the interdict was over, as indeed they were eventually. But it was not a general strike. Parsons were instructed to continue to baptize infants and give confession and absolution to the dying. In 1209, the Pope allowed monasteries and nunneries to celebrate Mass once a week, although it had to take place behind closed doors and with no ringing of bells. In an impressive demonstration of papal authority, Innocent III's orders were carried out. There is no record of any priest celebrating Sunday Mass, the only regular religious ritual most people attended. Churchmen put a high value on Mass. The value of this sacrament is beyond all estimation, wrote the Cistercian Baldwin of Ford, who became Archbishop of Canterbury in 1184 and died on crusade in 1190. The regular Sunday sermon was thought to be vital for the religious instruction of parishioners. Yet during the 6 years that the interdict lasted, there is not a shred of evidence that any lay person protested. Not a mouse squeaked. There are no recorded petitions begging John to end his quarrel with the Pope so that the churches might be reopened. To all appearances, no one except the clergy gave a damn. So yeah, really interesting times, and that's just a bit of 1215, the year of Magna Carta. All right, hope you guys have a great weekend, and happy Valentine's Day. Take care.